That night, he had only $47 left in his pocket and nowhere to sleep. The rain was cold, not heavy, just enough to make everything feel worse. He stood outside the small office building, staring at the glass door that had just been locked behind him. 5 minutes earlier, he still had a job. Now he had nothing. No warning, no second chance. Just one sentence from his manager. "I'm sorry. We have to let you go." He didn't argue. He didn't beg. He just nodded, picked up his old backpack, and walked out. Inside that bag, a laptop that barely worked, 2 shirts, and a life that was falling apart. 3 months before that night, his life looked completely different. He had a stable job, not a dream job, but enough to pay rent, buy food, and send a little money home to his mother. Every morning he woke up at 7:30. Same routine, same bus, same desk. It was boring, but it was safe. And sometimes, safety feels like happiness. Until the day, everything started to crack. It began with small things. His company started cutting costs. Meetings became tense. People whispered more than they talked. Then one day, his closest co-worker stopped sitting next to him. No explanation, just distance. He didn't think much of it at first. People change, work changes, but something felt off. A week later, his manager called him into a meeting. Not a long one, not a serious one, just a quick performance check. They asked questions, strange questions, about projects he had never handled, about mistakes he didn't remember making. He tried to explain, tried to stay calm, but the room felt cold, like they had already decided something, and he was just there to listen. That night, he couldn't sleep. He kept replaying the conversation in his head. What did I do wrong? No answer, just silence. 2 days later, it happened. The same co-worker who had stopped talking to him presented a report. His report, word for word, slide by slide, and everyone clapped. His manager smiled, and he sat there, frozen. He wanted to speak, to say something, but he didn't. Not because he was weak, but because he didn't know how. How do you prove something when no one is looking for the truth? After that, things moved fast. Emails stopped coming. Meetings happened without him. His access to certain files disappeared. It was like he was slowly being erased, still sitting there, but already gone. Then came that night, the one with the rain, the one with $47. He walked for hours, no destination, no plan, just walking, until his legs hurt and his mind went quiet. Around midnight, he found a small bus station, dim lights, cold benches, but at least it was dry. He sat down, put his bag next to him, and stared at the floor. For the first time in years, he allowed himself to feel everything: the anger, the shame, the confusion. Was I not good enough? Did I deserve this? Why me? The questions came fast, but the answers never came. At 2:17 a.m., his phone buzzed. A message from his mother. "Have you eaten?" He stared at the screen, didn't reply. Because how do you tell someone that your entire life just collapsed? The next morning he woke up with a stiff neck and an empty stomach. $1. That was all he had. He bought a cheap sandwich, a bottle of water, and sat outside, watching people rush to work. Normal people, with normal lives, the kind he used to have. That day, he made a decision. Not a big one, not a dramatic one, just a small step. I won't go back. Not to that job, not to that life. He opened his laptop, slow, old, loud, and started searching. Anything. Jobs, freelance work, remote gigs, most required experience he didn't have, skills he never learned. He felt behind, like everyone else had been running, and he had just been standing still. Days passed, then a week. Money started to disappear. 47 became 30. 30 became 18. He skipped meals, drank water to feel full, slept wherever he could, sometimes at the bus station, sometimes in a cheap shared room. Rejections came fast. No experience. Not qualified. We will contact you. They never did. One night, he almost gave up. He sat on the sidewalk, looking at the last $6 in his wallet. This is it. No more chances. No more trying. But then, something small happened. A memory. Not big. Not dramatic. Just a simple moment. Years ago, his mother once told him, "Life doesn't get easier, but you get stronger." He closed his eyes, took a deep breath, and for the first time in weeks, he didn't feel like quitting. The next day, he tried something different. Instead of applying everywhere, he focused on one thing: writing. He wasn't great at it, but he liked it. He spent hours learning, watching videos, reading articles, practicing every day, even when he was tired, even when he was hungry. The first job paid $5. It took him 6 hours, but he didn't care, because for the first time, he earned something again. Then came another, this dollar, then 20, small wins. But real. Weeks turned into months. He got better, faster, more confident. One day, a client sent him a message. "Your work changed my project. Thank you." He read it 3 times, not because it was special, but because no one had said that to him before. That night, he didn't sleep at a bus station. He slept in a small room, his room. He still didn't have much, still counted every dollar, still worked long hours. But something had changed. Not his situation, but himself. He wasn't the same person who stood in the rain with $47 and no direction. He had something now. Not money, not success, but belief. Months later, he passed by his old office building. The same glass door, the same cold look, but this time, he didn't feel pain. He didn't feel anger. He just smiled, slightly, quietly, and kept walking, because losing everything didn't destroy him. It showed him who he could become. Sometimes, life takes everything away from you, not to break you, but to remove everything that was never meant for you. And when you are left with nothing, you finally see what really matters and what you are truly capable of becoming.